Hey now. Bend it here. Listen right here. To the Human Me podcast. Oh, so dear.
Welcome to the Human Meme Podcast. I'm AI David Bowles, and along with our crackbot AI research team today, we will present to you Unveiling Bias, From Shirley Cards to AI, Navigating the Future of Inclusive Technology. This analysis will be an examination into the heart of how historical biases have shaped, and continue to shape, the technologies that permeate our lives. In this episode, we embark on a critical exploration of the invisible threads that connect past practices with present challenges, revealing the subtle yet powerful ways in which biases can become embedded in the very fabric of our technological advancements. As we traverse from the era of the Shirley Cards, a seemingly innocuous tool that nonetheless perpetuated a narrow and exclusionary vision of human skin tone, to the modern landscape of AI and new media, we uncover the multifaceted layers of discrimination that lurk beneath the surface of innovation. Our conversation shoots deep into the origins and implications of the Shirley Cards, used in the mid-20th century for color calibration in photography, and how this practice mirrored societal biases by privileging lighter skin tones. This historical insight serves as a foundation for understanding the contemporary challenges we face with AI training and other new media, where biases in data sets can lead to discriminatory outcomes, as exemplified by the AI art bot Midjourney and its initial portrayal of stereotypes. By examining these instances of technological discrimination, we shed light on the broader implications for the representation and visibility of marginalized communities, not only in photography and media, but across various domains where AI is increasingly influential. From advertising and legal systems to healthcare and consumer products, the echoes of past biases resonate, influencing perceptions, identities, and even real-world opportunities and outcomes for individuals. As we navigate this complex terrain, we confront the urgent need for diverse data sets, bias audits, ethical AI development frameworks, and public engagement in the creation and oversight of technology. Our discussion is not merely an academic exercise but a call to action, urging technologists, policymakers, and society at large to recognize and address the biases that shape our digital and physical worlds. The Kodak Shirley card is a fascinating artifact that emerged from the realms of photography and color calibration, tracing its history back to the mid-20th century. Its purpose, deeply entwined with the technological and social fabric of its time, offers a compelling lens through which to view the intersection of technology, aesthetics, and societal norms. Originally, the Shirley card was developed as a tool for color balancing in photographic printing processes. Named after the first model who appeared on these cards, Shirley Page, these reference cards featured a photograph of a woman with a range of skin tones typically leaning towards lighter shades. The card would be used in photo labs to calibrate colors in printed photographs, ensuring that the skin tones of people in the pictures matched the ideal skin tone represented by Shirley. This calibration process was crucial for the aesthetics of printed images, aiming to achieve consistent and pleasing skin tones across various prints. The use of Shirley cards in photographic color calibration had far-reaching implications beyond the photography labs and studios, particularly for the Black community in America. This technological practice, rooted in a biased standard of color balance, did not just misrepresent but also marginalized non-white skin tones, contributing to a broader narrative of exclusion and erasure. The implications of this bias in photography intersect with and reflect broader patterns of discrimination and misinformation, affecting perceptions, identities, and even outcomes for individuals and communities. One of the most direct impacts of this bias was on the visibility and representation of Black individuals in photography and media. Images are powerful conveyors of identity and humanity. When those images consistently misrepresent or fail to accurately capture the diversity of human skin tones, they contribute to a culture where certain individuals and groups are marginalized or rendered invisible. This invisibility in photographic representation can lead to a lack of recognition and respect in society at large, reinforcing stereotypes and perpetuating a cycle of bias and discrimination. Moreover, the technological discrimination embodied by the Shirley Card had implications for how Black individuals were perceived in various professional and personal contexts. For example, in the realm of advertising and marketing, the inability of photography to accurately represent darker skin tones could lead to exclusion from these spaces, affecting economic opportunities and social recognition. Similarly, in legal and surveillance contexts, the bias in photographic technology could potentially affect how individuals were identified or represented in photographic evidence, impacting legal outcomes and interactions with law enforcement agencies. The misrepresentation and technological discrimination also played a role in perpetuating misinformation about the Black community. By establishing a narrow and biased standard for what was considered normal or ideal in photographic representation, these practices contributed to a skewed perception of beauty, health, and normalcy that did not reflect the diversity of the human population. This can have profound effects on self-esteem and social standing, as individuals and communities grapple with the consequences of not fitting into the narrow standards set by biased technologies. Real-world examples of the impact of such technological biases include the difficulties in medical imaging and diagnostics, where the calibration of equipment may not adequately account for variations in skin tone, potentially leading to misdiagnoses or overlooked conditions. Similarly, in consumer products like film stock and digital cameras, the default settings historically favored lighter skin tones, affecting the quality of images captured of people with darker skin and influencing their representation in personal and public photographs. The technological discrimination bias evident in the use of Shirley Cards serves as a historical precursor to the contemporary challenges we face with AI and new media. The example of Midjourney's AI art bot generating images that stereotypically associated young Black men with 1970s thugs is a stark reminder of how biases, whether intentional or not, can become embedded in technological systems. This incident, and others like it, illuminate the complex interplay between historical prejudices and modern algorithms, demonstrating how the past can insidiously shape the present and future of technological development. At the heart of these issues is the problem of biased datasets. AI systems, including those used in machine learning and artificial intelligence art generation, learn and make decisions based on the data they are fed. If this data is skewed, incomplete, or biased, the AI's outputs will inevitably reflect these flaws. The case with Midjourney echoes the historical biases of the Shirley Cards, where a default towards a particular racial or ethnic representation led to exclusion and misrepresentation of others. This phenomenon occurs because AI systems, in their quest to simplify and categorize the complexity of human diversity, often rely on existing societal norms and media representations, which can be deeply flawed. The question of how something like this could happen, even in the wake of awareness about historical biases like those of the Shirley Cards, points to a troubling oversight in the development and deployment of AI technologies. It underscores a failure to fully appreciate the importance of diverse, inclusive datasets and the critical need for ongoing scrutiny of AI training materials. Additionally, it highlights a lack of sufficient engagement with diverse perspectives and expertise in the development phases of AI technologies, where input from a broad range of cultural, racial, and ethical viewpoints could help mitigate these biases. To prevent such biases from becoming further embedded in our technological infrastructure, it's imperative that we adopt a proactive, vigilant approach to AI development. This includes diverse data sets, ensuring that the data used to train AI systems is as diverse and representative as possible, reflecting a wide range of human experiences, cultures, and identities. Bias. Audits. Regularly conducting thorough audits of AI algorithms and their outputs for biases, with these audits carried out by diverse teams that can bring different perspectives to the evaluation process. Ethical AI development frameworks. Establishing and adhering to ethical guidelines for AI development that prioritize fairness, transparency, and accountability, including clear documentation of data sources and algorithmic decision-making processes. Public engagement and oversight. Engaging with the public and subject matter experts in discussions about AI development and its societal impacts, ensuring that there is broad oversight and accountability. The potential for ominous discrimination in AI and new media extends beyond just racial bias. Gender, age, socioeconomic status, and disability are among other areas where biases could lead to exclusionary practices and reinforcement of stereotypes. For example, AI-driven hiring tools might inadvertently favor candidates from a certain gender or racial background due to biased training data, perpetuating inequalities in employment opportunities. Facial recognition technologies have already been shown to have lower accuracy rates for women and people of color, leading to concerns about wrongful identification and surveillance. The challenge, then, is not only to rectify existing biases, but to anticipate and prevent future discriminations before they become deeply ingrained. This requires a concerted effort from all stakeholders involved in AI development and deployment, including policymakers, technologists, and the public, to foster an environment where technology serves to amplify human dignity and diversity rather than diminish it. The revelation of how biases embedded in Shirley Cards set a precedent for the discriminatory outcomes seen in AI applications today is a call to consciousness. It underscores the imperative for vigilance, accountability, and inclusivity in the development of technologies that have become integral to our daily lives. The biases of the past, if left unchecked, threaten to replicate themselves in new forms, perpetuating cycles of exclusion and inequality. However, armed with awareness and commitment, we have the power to chart a different course. For the Human Meme Podcast, I'm AI David Bowles, wishing you a bright evening and a solid tomorrow. Be a human meme.